All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy show. I'm your host, ERGJ. We got our co-host, Mr. Beedles, is in the building.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mr. Beedles, Mr. Wealthy, Healthy, Happy, your neighborhood financial planner and small business developer. What's going on, man? How is everybody feeling this morning?
I am
Woo!
feeling absolutely phenomenal, man. I know it's only Tuesday, but it's another great day to be alive, to chase after your dreams, your goals, and your desires. And of course, we're here on the Mindset Makeover Challenge, day number 17, I believe. Yeah, we're on day number 17, and we're continuing to press forward towards those things that we want to do, be, create, or become. And so hopefully you guys have been tracking along with us, that you're making great progress as well. And as we move into 2016, we're not starting in January. We're actually rolling into January. So it's not a New Year's resolution, it's a New Year's revolution. And hopefully you guys are ending your year on a positive note. You're ending your year progressing towards those things that you want to accomplish. And so the Mindset Makeover Challenge is basically it's the whole goal is for you to focus on one dominant goal that you're looking to accomplish, and to stay focused on that thing for 30 days straight. And really, you should see great progress, because success is defined in the strangest secret as progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And so, first, you have to define or decide what your worthy ideal is, and then next, you have to make progress towards that worthy ideal. And that is the whole goal of the Mindset Makeover Challenge. So, hopefully, you guys are doing that, and that you are tracking along. Now, the past couple of days, we've talked about two different topics. We talked about hope and faith. And Mr. Beatles, if you want to summarize kind of what that hope and faith is, and then we'll get into today's topic.
Absolutely. So again, like Evan said, we talked on last Friday. We talked on hope, and then we summed it up by yesterday, talking about faith and how we apply that. And so hope is this promise of something that you've seen in the future, and it's not wishful thinking, but it is this real vision that you've seen, and it's the hope that carries you through in those times when you are challenged by obstacles in life. And then we talked about faith, and faith are the building blocks. Faith is the effort that you put in every single day towards the hope that you envision for yourself. And so they work hand in hand. And so you have to see the vision, that's the hope, and then you have to do the work and build the vision, and that is your faith. And so with both of those, you are absolutely unstoppable.
Absolutely. So as we kind of move forward from hope and faith, or we kind of move forward into today, something came to me last week, and I reached out to Mr. Beals and said, "Hey, man, Mr. Beals, I got this thing I want to talk about." And it came up on Saturday as we were doing a different presentation. It was called "Keep the Dream Alive." Some would say keep hope alive. Some would say keep faith alive. But I want to say keep the dream alive, because I think the hope and the faith that you have is all as it relates to your dream. And so as we talk about that, a poem came up, and it's from Langston Hughes. It's called Harlem, or it's called A Dream Deferred. It's called two different things by Langston Hughes, and I'll read that for you right now. It says, "What happens to a dream deferred? What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode?" Now, this is a very short, sweet poem. It's a classic, but really very short, but that really beginning of it is that dream deferred. What happens to a dream deferred? What happens to a dream that's delayed? What happens to a dream that doesn't manifest itself in the manner or in the time frame for which you would like for it to manifest? And so this is where that keep the dream alive, the statement came from, the title of today's message came from, because I've noticed in my life, and maybe you have noticed in your life as well, that you can plan all you want, but sometimes there are detours in life. Sometimes there are detours in life. In other words, you can get started going in a direction and you can say, here's where I want to go. You can know where you want to be, but there's going to be a whole bunch of peaks and valleys, curves along the way. And so even during those times where you're not going straight towards your goal, or it doesn't feel like you're going straight towards a goal, you got to keep the dream alive. And so I summarize it like this. I say that, hey, I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and I want to go to Lenox Mall. I know exactly where I want to go. I know exactly how long it should take me to get there. But on my way, I hit traffic. And instead of me staying on 400 or staying on the highway, sitting in 30 minutes of traffic to get to Lenox Mall, I may need to take a detour, hit the side streets, go all around the traffic in order for me to get there, still get to my destination, but I may get there sooner or it may take me a little longer, just depending on what type of frustration level I'm dealing with that day. And I think it's the same way as it relates to going towards your dreams, your goals, your desires, that sometimes you're going to hit traffic. In other words, you're going to hit some obstacles. You're going to hit some delays in your arrival to your destination. And so even during those times where you don't feel like you're making as much progress as quickly as you would like, the key is to keep the dream alive. What do I mean by that? Well, say, for example, you are now an entrepreneur and you're like, you started to build your business, you started to do some things towards your business, but the money starts to look a little funny. It starts to dry up a little bit, and you might need to take a side job or go back into the workforce and still kind of work on your business. Well, there's some people who might do that and start getting back into the workforce, quote unquote, if they have to do that, but then they forget about why they stopped why they left the workforce in the first place, or why they started what they had started in the first place. In other words, they didn't keep their dream alive. They got sucked back into, let's just say, corporate America or whatever it is that they are doing, and they start to let their dream die because maybe time is, they don't have as much time as they used to have. They had to rearrange their schedule, but not recognizing that what they are doing now, what they temporarily had to choose to do, was just a detour or a delay to their dream being realized. And so I want to encourage everyone today to keep the dream alive. And so there's a scripture, Proverbs 13:12, which will be our quote of the day. And that scripture says that, where is it? The scripture says that hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it's a tree of life. So if you think about that for a second, sometimes if we're delayed in our promise, we're delayed in reaching our destination, we're delayed in our dream becoming or manifesting into reality, that could make our heart a little, you get a little depressed, maybe a little stressed, you get a little frustrated, you start to feel all these different ways. But then what happens when you actually do attain that which you were going after? Man, it turns all of that stress into exultation, into joy, into this wonderful feeling because that desire that you had for your heart, it finally came. Well, that process of getting there is the journey. That process of getting there is keeping that dream alive, keeping your hope alive, keeping your faith alive, no matter what it is that you have to go through in order to reach your destination. And so my message to you guys today, for those that are on this Mindset Makeover Challenge, those that may not even be on it, you have a dream, you have something that you're going after, you know you're going to get there eventually. My words to you today is to keep the dream alive. Now, how do you do that? How do you keep your dream alive? And I think I want to bring Mr. Beedles in to talk about this a little bit, about things that you can do no matter where you find yourself in this path, in this journey towards your dream, things that you can do to keep your dream alive.
All right. Thank you for passing the torch right there. Hey, keeping the dream alive is a skill. It's a skill, it's a science, it's an art. And I quickly just want to, while we got a little time, I wanted to just shout out a few people that just joined the room. Wanted to acknowledge you. Shout out to Brittany Moore. She's self-motivated, intelligent, and goal-driven. Who else we have? We have the Akiba Academy. Hello for joining. We got Jerry L. Williams. Hello for joining. Chef, we're going to get you on in a minute. I know you're biting at the chomps. We also have, let me see, who else do we have? We have Lookup 158. And we got Kenny on the mic today. But what does that mean, man? How do we keep the dream alive, man? It truly starts with what we talked about for the last two presentations, and that is you have to have this thing called hope, and you have to have this thing called faith. And so when you put your coordinates in your GPS, you know that there is an expected end. You know that there's an expected end. So along that journey, if there is traffic, you don't get discouraged and say, you know what, forget it, I'm turning around, I'm going back home. No, you don't do that, because you know that there is an expected end. So how do we keep the dream alive? The first thing we have to do is you have to have a definite major purpose. And we talked about that a lot, right? And that is writing the vision down and making it absolutely clear for you. That's a SMART goal, right? So it's got to be specific, it's got to be measurable, it's got to be attainable, right? It's got to be relevant to who you are, where you are, and where you're trying to go. And then it has to also be time sensitive as well. And so if we want to keep the dream alive, we first have to create the dream and make the dream real. And you do that by writing that vision and making it plain.
So with the SMART goals, it's interesting. I found that in my in coaching so many people, this is one of the most difficult tasks for people. No matter how simple it seems, it's not easy for everyone to really capture a goal, a clearly defined goal, a SMART goal. And I know at some point we're going to really have to dig into this, man. How do you set goals? Because this is a very difficult thing for some people, man. You know, people say, hey, I want to get, they'll say something like, hey, I want to be wealthy. But what is that? What is that? How do you define what wealth is? I mean, you could be wealthier today than you were yesterday. I see so many people that don't have goals, man. They want success. They want to achieve these great things in life, but they don't have goals. And they wonder why they find themselves keep spinning around these circles, because they haven't set stopping points. They haven't set achievement points in their life or in their journey towards whatever it is that they're going after. And at some point, we're going to really have to dig into this goal setting. It seems to be one of the most important things that you can do as it relates to being successful. And many people just don't know how to do it effectively. It's amazing.
I agree with that, man. And it truly is like you said, when you really sit down and you think about what you want, what you'll run into immediately is you'll run into limiting beliefs. And when I sit down with clients, that's their first challenge. The first challenge is kind of getting over the hurdle and knowing that it's okay to just write it down on paper. It's okay to just dream. But when they start really thinking about the stuff that they want, the things that they desire, the places that they want to go, they immediately equate what they can do in the future to what it looks like in their bank account, or the degree that they have, or the accomplishment of the relationships that they're in right now. They look at the stuff that currently exists and they try to paint their dream into what currently exists, and you can't do that, right? Because dreaming is about the imagination, and the imagination is the laboratory for your lifestyle. And so it's okay to go to your workshop, and it's okay to put it all down on paper, because it's there where you work out all the kinks, where you refine the idea, and you gotta make this thing big. You have to, but big is scary. And so people.
So yeah, you just said a great thing, and I think that message should hopefully it vibrates with everyone. Like, yes, it is okay to dream. Yes, it is okay to dream, and I think that as we get older, when we're younger, it's easy for us to dream. When we get older, we start to not believe the dreams that we have. It's almost like, hey, I'm living in this realistic world now. I'm living in this society that I have to do this, be this, and have this. But it's those dreams that really can carry us forward into ultimately who we can become and who we should become. Hopefully their dreams are not nightmares, but I wonder how many of us really listen to our dreams, really capture our dreams, really you know, even not even just dreaming at night, but even doing the daydreaming states that you may have during the day, if you ever take the time to really just get away and like, you know, have some visualization. But goal setting and visualization, I think, are some tough things for people to make time to do in their life.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's a skill set, and it's a daily practice. And I even have challenges, you know, just consistently setting aside specific time every single day to visualize. And when I look at my 9 daily disciplines, the reason why we established those 9 daily disciplines is to cultivate the mind so that you can prepare yourself for what is to come. And the more that you practice, the easier it becomes, and the more clear your visions are. And so, again, I would encourage you, man, that if you are looking to reestablish your dreams, if you're looking to grab hold of something bigger than yourself, then definitely take time, have the courage to write down your visions and make them as big as you want to make them, as big as you want. If you want to be a billionaire, write down, I want to be a billionaire, but what does that actually look like? And so you work that backwards. Whatever you see in the future, write it down, and then work it all the way backwards. That's where you get into your SMART goals. And you can't eat an elephant in one big sitting. You got to eat it one bite at a time. You can't suck up all the oxygen you're going to ever suck up for life. You breathe one breath at a time.
Absolutely. So, guys, we got a couple open seats for anyone that might want to jump in and join the conversation. I see that Mr. Or look, I don't know if it's a Mr. or Mrs., but they said that dreaming sometimes for me is a waste of time, and doing is what I need to be doing more of. Planning is another thing I feel at. And so I would say that there's nothing wrong with dreaming a lot, right? There's a process to this, right? It's you have the dream, but then you put a plan of action around it if that's what you want to go after. You can have many dreams, right? But whatever that vision is that you want to go after, then yeah, you need. It's necessary to put a plan of action around that and then work the plan. So you plan your work, then you work your plan. But all of that, the plan itself comes from your dream. It comes from what you want to, what is the expected end when all the work is done. For example, right, you dream, I mean, people that have a 9 to 5, they're dreaming, right? They know that they're going to work, and the plan is for them to get paid in 2 weeks. That is a dream, to get paid in 2 weeks. And they're doing the work to get paid, and so they plan, they're working their plan. The reality is that same process, right? They have an expected end, a paycheck, and in the 2 weeks, and they have work that they're going to do for 80 hours to get this paycheck. Now, what happens if they don't get paid? Well, there's a big uproar, things like that, because their expected end wasn't met after they put in the work. It's the same process when you don't have that, whatever the expected end is. Oh, here's my expected end. Well, then I'm going to take this dream that I have, this expected end, and I'm going to put a plan around what I'm going to do, and that plan is going to fuel me into work. It is the same process. No matter where you see yourself in life, we just don't connect the dots that way because we've been conditioned to, hey, we need to work this 9 to 5. But the reality is, hey, I have an expected end. I have a plan to get to that expected end, and then I put in the work. It's the same process.
Absolutely. And look, I think one of the things that we don't do enough of is we don't visualize enough. We don't meditate enough. We don't prepare our minds enough. Again, what tends to happen is in this world that we live in, we have been taught to live by our 5 senses, right? Touch, taste, smell, hearing, sight. Our 5 senses. And so that's what stimulates us, and that's what we believe. However, there is this other piece of the puzzle that if we tap into it, we begin to create the world that we truly desire in. But it starts up here. It starts by you mentally visualizing what you want and visualizing it enough on a regular basis. This is called preparing the field before you sow your seed. So preparing the field before you sow your seed, you have to see it first in your mind. You have to visualize it, and it has to become clear enough before you step out into the field and start sowing your seed. So The reason why you may not be seeing the successes that you want is because you might not be taking the time to slow your process down. Slow the process down. Actually write your vision first, make it plain, and then take 10, 15 minutes to actually visualize what you've just written down and do it consistently. So in Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret, he talks about in the 30-day challenge, he talks about writing down your definite major purpose and then visualizing that or referring back to it at least twice a day. And the reason why you do that is because there's this special place in your mind that needs to be conditioned in order for your mind to attract the things that you've written down on paper. And so write your vision, make it plain, 10, 15 minutes of meditation twice a day, and watch how things change for you.
So if you need some help with that, obviously we would love for you to connect with us in our network. It's www.wealthyhealthyhappy.net. That is a link that I just put down in the chat below. And then also, if you're saying, hey, I need a little help with really making it plain, I need a little help with defining my desired end, and I need a little help with constructing the plan to get to that desired end. Then there's also another link for Future by Design. We've come up with a process to help you design the next 5 years of your life. And so if you're an individual that's saying, hey, I really need to tap into this, I really want to change the direction that I'm going right now, because we know that if we keep doing what we've been doing, we'll always get what we've been getting. But maybe there's something greater on the inside of you and you recognize it, but you haven't really been able to extract it from your own gold mine. Well, we're here to help. And so we got our first consultation is free. It allows you to kind of connect with someone that's on the outside that can help you tap into your inside. And so feel free to hit that link, sign up. Let's set the appointment and help you get started with designing the next 5 years of your life, giving you that expected end that you could be looking for, but then also giving you steps to take in order to get there. Because it is a strategy. You strategize your life, you plan your life, and then you work your plan. And so that is the reality of what we do. And no matter what facet of life that we're in, and those that do it well find success that much sweeter. So, okay, yeah. So you guys are going to talk about meditation. That's cool.
Yeah. So just to, look up 158. They asked a great question. They said, "Well, what is meditation?" And I'll put it in this context of what we're talking about today. And that meditation is your ability to focus on an idea. And when you're in meditation, thinking about all the things that are surrounding that particular idea. And so when you're in meditation, the great thing about what we're doing is you actually have a definite major purpose to focus on. And if you don't have one right now, I want to advise you to go to wealthyhealthyhappy.net and scroll down on the left-hand side of the web page and click the link, The Strangest Secret. And The Strangest Secret is about a 30-minute presentation by Earl Nightingale, and it's absolutely phenomenal, and it will help you to move into that space where meditation becomes real to you. Good morning. What's up, dude?
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you. Please, I have a question. Can you give me some advice to how to improve my language on English?
Oh, how to improve your language on English?
Yes, because this year I will pass my baccalaureate, so I need to enrich my vocabulary, to know how to write a paragraph, for example.
Oh, that's a great question, man. And
yes.
I could say like Rosetta Stone or something like that, but that'd be a generic answer. And because we're English speaking, again, we don't get that question a lot. But I mean, that's a great question to ask. And so maybe you can pitch this to the audience, and let's see if anybody in the Let's see if anybody in the audience has a good.
Because my problem is that when I want, for example, they give me a sentence, they told me how to rewrite this sentence on another way. For example, in a passive or active voice. You understand me? This is the some I have some difficulty on this.
So how
This
to
is why I want. This is why I want to improve my language, because when you enrich your vocabulary, you will not do many mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and it makes you a better communicator, where you can get your ideas across. I just love the fact that you're trying to improve a second language. Is this your second language?
Yes, my native in language is Arabic, because I'm from Algeria.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you for joining the show, man. And I hate to say that I don't have an answer for you, but I don't at this time. However, this is what I want you to do, man. Maybe we can search that answer out for you, and collectively as a group come back, and we'll have some ideas for you sometime this week that might be beneficial for you.
Okay, thank you, bro.
All right, no problem. Are you coming back tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I don't know. Maybe because I don't. I study. You understand me? I don't have a lot of time.
I got you. Well,
So,
guess what?
For example, for you, what is the advice that you can give me?
What's the advice that you can give me? Well, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. So because we are, because I'm American speaking, I don't.
Yes, I understand. Thank you. Yeah.
So we don't get that question a lot. So what I am saying is that there are probably some professionals out there in our network that would be able to give you some great advice. And so
tomorrow,
yeah. So if you can give us some an opportunity to just kind of reach out to our network and see, maybe maybe we do have somebody that is an English teacher as a second language for you, and we might be able to get that information out to you. So again,
English,
just let us do. So I'm putting that challenge.
The English, it's not difficult to learn. It's easy
it's just, you're saying that you're just having some challenges writing.
Yeah, because I asked my teacher how to improve your language. They told me that you need to read, because they tell me that reading is before speaking.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I would say that makes sense.
Because I read many texts, in my book of the English, but sometimes I have some difficulties to how to write, for example, a summary of a text or paragraph of civilizations.
Got you. All right, so that is all right. So I'm putting that question out to the group, and I'm getting ready to write it down in here right now.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be on. Hey, what's going on there in the back? How you doing? I'm putting the question out for somebody that knows somebody that can help us out with that question.
Yeah.
What you got, ERGJ?
Hey, that's it. Hey, Mahmoud, man, if you get a chance to connect with us, we're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern. I don't know what time it is in your area, but we're here regularly. We got a couple people that said, sit on a lot of these blabs. So if you get a chance to connect with other English-speaking people, obviously that'll help you with speaking, but you need to obviously want to start reading and writing, and then watch some American shows. And also a tutor is something that you might want to consider also. But we've so those are some things to consider right now, but you can always come back and allow us to kind of think into your life and help you with this area of writing and reading and understanding English a little bit better. We've got to wrap our show up there, Mahmoud, so I thank you for coming on, but I'm gonna kick you out the seat and we're gonna catch up with you later. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, man. Great question. Yeah.
All right, so guys, it is okay to dream, and just remember that you want to keep your dream alive. So no matter what detours, no matter what traffic, no matter the delays, you want to keep your dream alive. You want to feed your dream. And so those are some of the things that we kind of talked about today. We'll get into more as we continue to meet. We meet Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern, right here, same bat time, same bat channel. So if you want to start your day off with some motivation, you want to start your day off with some inspiration, you want to connect with like-minded people that can help you at least start your day off right so you can get through the day. They say the most important meal of the day is breakfast. Well, we want to start feeding our mind and our spirit in the morning. So that's why we meet at this time. Now, of course, there's different times all over the world, but 7 a.m. Eastern here, whatever time it is for you, we'll be here to continue to have great topics, great conversation, and really put some positive energy out into the world. So my name is ERGJ. I am your certified financial educator and success coach. And we have Mr. Beedles here as well.
And I am Mr. Beedles, Mr. Wealthy, Healthy, Happy, your neighborhood financial planner and small business developer. And we are wealthy, we are healthy, and we are out.
And we are out. You guys have a wonderful day. See you guys tomorrow.